Hello again, and welcome back to the Dev Plays The Crucible of Avarice, using the Animite Tales tabletop RPG system. Last session that we had, the party had finally defeated the Ushma clan, a clan of copiers who have other abilities. Alongside it, they are basically walking, talking catalogues of different abilities and techniques of each other. Anarche was the one who finally defeated the last of their kin, known as Majra, and Majra pretty much stated that he saw Anarche as a true warrior. After that, it was sort of beginning to become the end of the day for the rest of the party before we saw them again, as they were celebrating their victories together alongside Pinky. Not long after that, Pinky's house was disturbed by Fergus, or a clone of Fergus, who then explained to them that he was currently looking for one of the bodies of the two left remaining of the big three that he had stated to Fletcher all those days ago. He is looking for the body of the superpower king known as Galland. He told them that there would be a time and a place that he might be, and there were two different places, so there was a 50-50% chance of them not even be able to get there before that they could stop him. However, they thought, but he will be there tomorrow morning, we'll just go tonight. So they rushed off to one of the locations, only to find an underground crypt, stole five sarcophagi, and left with a muffin and a carving of a middle finger in the stead of the room. Later, sort of discovering some of the different abilities within Anarche's pocket dimension, Aldous had stated that these bodies were potentially the previous kings, and there is very questionable means within the last one, as it seemed to try to revive itself, and looked at Anarche and told him to release him. However, not long after, it then disappeared and went back to its slumber. The next day has arisen. You have all had a good night's rest. You are all fully rested and fully healed. It is now the day of the tournament. Fletcher, you have gone to speak to Jimmy Graham about getting a weapon, and he said that he can make you one. However, the only issue is that not only will you need to pay him, but also it won't be made for another couple of days yet, due to his new influx of customers, but also due to the fact that he needs to actually make it. That being said, Stan, you have fixed up his house and his blacksmithing forge, so he's completely fully decked out.
Good.
Anarche, you have had a brief meeting with all of them, and you have stated that Stan will be going first to sort of test the waters against the current opponents, and then afterwards Fletcher will go next, hopefully against Dias, as Fletcher wanted to go first. However, Anarche stated that it's all part of his plan, and Anarche stated that he will not be watching the matches until he is called out, because he is looking for a certain someone. As we now come back to this, it is now the time of which that Pinky is now announcing that the current team is known as Team of the South versus the current Kings of the Hill, which is our party. As we return to this, Stan, you are just standing outside of the arena and outside of its bubble.
Dun, dun, dun.
Would you like to do any preparation before going in?
Let me just recall. I'm pretty sure.
You've got your... I believe you have your Stand Ever Stan and your nano machines, but I think that's about it.
Do yeah. I'll make another rumble rod. It's good to have a backup.
Yeah, sure. Nice, you have made it. As your flesh malleates towards the shape, and then eventually, as it snaps out of your flesh, it then solidifies into the device known as the Rumble Rod.
Can I see the opponent from here, like while we're outside of the arena?
There are 4 of them, but they still have yet to move. They're actually just sort of watching and waiting for you. As I stated, the kings are expected to go in first.
Okay, I guess I'll go in.
As you walk through and you sort of begin walking towards the middle of the arena, the Huskonian stands up. This Huskonian is quite big and bulky. He sort of had like a big tattoo, he's like deep red skin, big tattoo on his right shoulder, white hair, and he's wearing a mask that it goes over the top half of his face, but still keeps his mouth revealed. As he gets up, he takes a club and lifts it over his shoulder and begins walking in. As he gets closer and closer, you realise how big this dude is. He's about like 2.5 meters tall. He is a big boy. As he stands there looking at you, still with his weapon over his shoulder, they claim this is Stan versus Tunga Shungi. As she then goes, "Begin. I would like you to roll me a move speed."
Oh man, it's gonna be rough.
I know. Skip the dialogue immediately. No intro.
No intro.
This is competitive fighting.
Ooh, okay. You get to go first.
Okay. I'll activate the stand ever stand. You know, just because. What do I wish to do? Is the question. Guy is scary looking. I guess I will. I'll turn my arm into like a cannon again with one of the rumble rods.
Okay, go for it.
That's fairly useful. Okay. We're like point blank or something at the minute, right?
Yeah, pretty much point blank.
I'll just make a claim for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Roll for the health of your clone whilst I begin my preparations. So he looks at you as you sort of like split yourself off from yourself, as you have now made a secondary person that is identical to yourself. One might say you've almost cloned yourself. However,
Yes.
you have also turned your arm into a cannon. I'm assuming that also means that your... actually, no, that means that your clone would just be a clone. It wouldn't have the cannon arm, would it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. As he does appear...
But yeah, I
Tunga.
guess I'll just, yeah.
Tunga then looks at you, and he sort of slams one of his feet down, and he just sort of begins breathing like a huge breath that seems to almost last like a good like 20 seconds, like as he keeps inhaling until eventually like his chest begins to puff out, and he looks almost like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until he just then slams his foot down, and you notice that his legs begin to get like even more veiny and muscular, as is the top half of him, as he gets like at least a good like couple of inches bulkier everywhere around him. as he then leans his head back, and then immediately you see like the lower half of his throat begin to sort of almost radiate and begin to glow red as he then just goes whoo, as breathes out this huge plume of flames towards you and your clone.
Okay.
Now I have this here, so I need to roll for this. It is... Okay. If that's... Is that 1 or 2? Okay. I have to do the other one. There we go. How would you and your clones like to react?
I would like to kind of... I guess I'll try and blast his... like, underneath his jaw, like, upwards with the rumble rod arm.
Okay.
And then I... Yeah, do him. Could my clone, like, try and transform into something?
Do you have a reactive transformation?
I have... That's a good question. I don't think I do.
In that case, I'm going to say no.
I don't have a reactive transformation, but if I have, like, the ability to use SPMAs reactively, and some of them are like 3D printer abilities, then could I reactively make him 3D print something?
You could have it that you could reactively like 3D print an object like a to block.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Obviously, you'd need to get the particular requirement, but I think it's like a bare minimum of 15. But either way, you have to beat 22 anyway.
Okay, wait. Other idea.
I feel like I need like a bare minimum timer, and if you don't, it's just that your turn's over.
Yeah, that's fair. I could make it the, like... Can I just make it like he prints out, You know, I'll just make it that he prints out like a... I guess a, I have no idea.
I mean, it can just be a big old wall or sheet metal or something.
Yeah. Okay. Can I make it that he, like, prints out something and kind of, like... Yeah, so I want essentially like a, I guess like a curved wall of, like, ion behind the guy.
I mean, you can't make anything behind your opponent, but you can make something... Because, again, it comes from you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it comes from a clone.
But it wouldn't go around or behind him.
Okay.
I mean, it could go around or behind your clone. But I think you would probably want it in front of your clone.
You know what, yeah. I'll have, like, a curved wall of ion in front of him in case, like...
Okay.
Kind of as a reflective sonic surface, I guess.
Yeah, roll for it. Okay, and the other?
Do I get advantage with my reaction?
You didn't say that you activated it, so...
I
Oh, wait, no,
did.
you did. Okay, yeah. Yeah, 30, yeah. That's the one that's trying to sort of like move his head away, isn't he?
I'm blasting him with my thing, like trying to blast him underneath his jaw.
Yeah, okay. Roll damage. $27, nice. So sort of like he goes to breathe out, and then you hit him with this big sonic blast that hits, sort of goes through the original flames as it hits him in the chin, sort of knocks his head up, and then the entire thing explodes upwards in a sort of a rain of fire, like a spray, like a sort of a fountain of flames, as they eventually dissipate into small, tiny little embers that rain down around you. As this happens, it is now your turn. Please don't take so long this time.
Okay, I'll have the clone, I guess, try and move and like make another wall.
Okay.
Can I want to have it that I guess obviously he could react to this because he's trying to like make these walls around him of like kind of ion.
Is that your role? Yeah.
Yeah, that's for him to basically create like another curved wall of ion closer to, I guess, try and like close to behind him. The Shungi.
Okay. I'll try something. No. Okay. So he tries to attack the clone, as it completely misses. As your clone sort of eventually goes behind him and sort of like makes another wall behind him. It's now your turn.
Okay, I will activate the stand and stand.
Okay.
And I will move backwards a bit. I guess like 10 meters or so.
Okay. By the way, your back will now be against the wall.
Okay.
The barrier.
And then, I suppose I will fire.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
23.
23, okay. So you go to fire, and he just sort of breathes in again and sort of just makes this large plume of flames towards you yet again. This time, it does actually hit you before you can actually fire off the cannon. Which is weird, because this guy should not be able to move that quickly, unless if he has super speed or super dexterity. As he hits you, you are dealt... 36 points of damage. I'm assuming that doesn't break your vitality.
No.
Not even close. And it is now his turn. I'm just quickly writing this. Stan, you have taken 36. As once he does that, he goes to sort of like round the side and grabs this wall with one hand and sort of jumps over it and attempts to like batter the clone with his club.
Okay. He's... Did you say he grabbed the wall?
Yeah, he's like grabbed the wall, sort of like vault over it, And like now he's coming down to like slam his club against the clone.
Okay. Since that wall is technically... Yeah, that's technically my body, right?
Yeah.
So I can use my remote transformation on it.
Your clone will have to do it, yes, but
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll attempt to use remote transformation to essentially just turn it into like a binding spring.
Okay.
Yeah, still ion, I guess. Okay.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
I'll just make sure.
Not only does
Yes,
it like
sure.
wrap up his arm and stop him, but it's enough to deal damage. So I guess you can roll if you want. You can roll your, I think it's your mimicry damage.
Yeah, I can.
So yeah, you can roll that to like see if it damages him.
Probably won't, but it's a thing.
It wraps around his arm and keeps his arm straight. And it even like means that like he's off balance, so like when he slams his club against the floor, it completely misses the clone. The wall is gone, and now his arm is like made straight thanks to the spring around his right arm.
Cool.
Which is not the one that is holding the club.
Nope.
But that is the end of his turn. It is now yours.
Okay. In that case, I can. Yeah, I kind of want to make the clone 3D print like a. Like 3D print a sort of curved ion wall, or like like a half dome kind of thing around this guy.
Okay. Like a radar dish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go for it. So you go to do it, but not before he like hits the clone. And the clone does sort of like what happens is like he hits the clone, and it does get just about enough time to make this, but not before it does take damage. So that would be
No.
clone. No.
Oh my god, my clone.
Start playing the bagpipes.
57. I'm assuming that kills
Yeah,
it.
he doesn't have that much health.
No. So as he like hits it, it's like head completely disappears before its arm just starts like sort of like warping and then just creates an entire sort of like dome as he sort of like backs up just for a second as the creates a dome, and the clone just like sort of turns to mush as the like radar dish is now sort of like in front of him.
Okay.
It is still your turn.
I will use my bonus actions. I stand on my Healy.
Okay, roll for Healy.
Sure, you just copy and paste this.
Why haven't you?
No. Okay, 37. How much damage did I take before? 39, 36. 36. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that and then
yeah, you heal perfectly.
And then I will fire on him again, I guess.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Jeez. So as you go to fire, you sort of notice that your arm sort of clunks a bit. It might have been due to like the overheating of the flame. And as you're like sort of looking down, it's like, damn thing. You then look back up as another gigantic fireball hits you yet again. As you take, that's actually the wrong dice. I was about to roll the same dice. That's not how it works. Brilliant. Thanks, phone. Thanks. There you go. I copied the exact same bloody thing. Brilliant. Nice work. Paste.
Whoops.
There we go. As you take 41 points of damage this time, as the flame engulfs you yet again, burning at you.
Yes, a net negative turn.
As this time, he just sort of like looks at you as he's just saying, healing, annoying. As he then sort of like drops his club, sort of jams it into the ground as it sort of cracks, and he then goes into his pockets and like brings out these strange little like vials as he just freaking yeets them towards you.
So, the hell are you doing?
As all of them begin like hurtling towards you, do you do anything?
I can only try.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not any. Yeah, I guess I'll just try and reactively blast them. I mean, there's no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not gonna work, is it?
No. As you go to, you just sort of notice like all of them like hit against like both the barrier and the ground around you. He like completely missed you. You're like the actual hell, like looking down. As then you look back up, he then claps his hands together, cranes his head back as his body just bulks up again, and then he unleashes another wad of fire. As the first action that he did was not an attack. As he unleashes this attack, you are powerless to stop it. I now need to roll a dice. Okay. So he throws 2 of these vials at you. That when they shatter, they have a very strange liquid. And as he breathes this fire out at you, you begin noticing that the liquid is lighting up until it creates a ring of fire that when you get hit by it, it then explodes, detonating you and dealing 56 points of damage. Putting you on 97 damage so far. As the flames finally clear, it is your turn yet again.
Okay. What's my minimum? Okay. Fine. I'll use my bonus actions anyway.
Okay, yeah. Stand over certain healing, roll for healing.
Just realised I've been rolling it slightly wrong. Not that it makes much of a difference.
Okay, nice. You undo pretty much his first attack on you. Bring you down to 57 rather than 97.
Okay. I'll make like a tiny, I guess, coin-sized little tech creature kind of come from my foot. Just like, I guess, just come out my toe or something.
Okay.
Like a little spider, and just scurry off as best they can, I guess.
Okay, roll for it. Okay. I'm going to ask you to roll its tech for how good it is at sneaking.
Yeah, okay.
Naughty, okay. Let's see. Awesome. He does not notice it, or at least it seems like he does not notice it. You have one action left.
Okay. While that thing is sneaking around, I'm just gonna blast him again.
Okay.
Because why not, I guess.
$30. Nice. Yep. Roll damage. Wow, okay. 21.
Is he still in the same position? In the, in front of the...
He's in front of the dome, yeah.
Okay. Does that do anything in terms of...
Yes. So, as you hit it, it deals an extra +8 damage to him.
Okay.
So it's instead of 21, that's 29. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Yep. As it sort of like it hits him, and then it sort of reverberates as he sort of like looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. As at this point, he sort of looks quite irritated, like quite aggravated with you. As this time he sort of begins like almost looking like as if he's chewing. He then he then like tries to like sort of do something, and it just seems to like not work. As he just like,
yeah, I know that feeling.
He goes, I got no spit. As you don't really know what he means by that, but either way, he just goes, shrugs his shoulders, and he unleashes another fire breath. Average rolls here.
Okay. I guess I'll try and kablast him again.
Alakablam.
Alakablam.
Also, can we just say this guy's been like spitting out fire, and then he's surprised when he doesn't have spit?
That is true.
Wow! The complete opposite there, with an advantage.
Like that.
Natural 20
Wow.
and a natural 1. Jeez, okay.
The diametric opposites.
The clutchiest advantage I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, as you hit him back, deal 27 with another +8, so that's at that time it's then 36.
35.
Is it 35? Oh yeah, it's 35. Yeah. So that put. Okay. As he is hit by all this damage, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'll use my bonus actions.
Nice.
A little spider dude. I can try and have that like sneak up to him, I guess.
Okay.
Go spider thing.
No. He does not notice.
Okay. Can I have that thing like okay, so I still have 2 actions, right?
Yeah. You can
I'll
give up
try and
one of
make
your actions to make it do something.
Yes. I'll try and make it transform into like, because I think it's technically within my ability to make it do something. Like I can make it become like some kind of shock mine or whatever, right?
Yeah, it can transform into another piece of technology as long as you as long as you have the actual recipe for, or you can literally make it up on the spot. But it's like abilities will only be equivalent to mimicry damage.
Okay, yeah, I'll do the mimic thing. Yeah, I'll make it into some kind of shock mine.
Okay, roll for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah, I guess then I will fire away at both of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roll for it. I mean, that is a hard one to beat.
That is true.
And one I do not beat at all. Yeah. As you like hit him with another shockwave, you can do double damage on this attack.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Is it like double my whole damage or just double my power damage?
I believe it would be double your power damage.
Okay. So it's 7.
Yeah.
It's 70. Okay. Plus 8, right?
Yeah, plus 8, so that's then 42.
42.
But then you said a shock mine. That explodes.
Yeah, so that detonates. It just does.
And that is what damage? Electricity.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the second highest and lowest roll you've gotten. Like max and minimum damage.
Yeah. So you did 42. So that would be awesome. So as he gets hit by this and it explodes the mine behind him, it covers him in electricity and it seems to do very minimal to him. If anything, he was more hurt by the shockwave that you just dealt, like the sonic blast. As he just sort of like looks around and is like, "Ah, so you are also prone to trickery. Very well." As he then goes back into two of his 2 side pockets and pulls out some more sort of strange objects. As he throws one of them on the ground, it creates a huge sort of smoke cloud around him.
Okay.
As I would like you to roll me a perception with disadvantage. Yeah, again, a really weird polar opposites roll. Not full, but still crazy. That's 2 berries, I'm afraid.
I'm
don't
assuming
see...
the super perception is just that.
Yeah. You don't see where on Earth he is within this cloud. as you notice that like a load of stuff is now being thrown at you, but you're not entirely sure where, and yet another plume of flames is coming towards you. No, I just need to roll this. Okay. You will be... it's up to you. I can either roll advantage or you can roll disadvantage.
You can roll advantage, I guess.
Okay. Wow, okay. 25 is the thing you need to be.
Okay, we'll try. I don't actually have good faith in this particular roll, to be honest.
Okay. As yet another fireball comes out of a location that you barely recognize. As it seems almost like as if the vials that were thrown at you are almost came from a different direction. As that happens,
He's using Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Kagebushin no Jutsu. Yet again, all of the objects light on fire, as there are 4 of them this time. As when they get hit by it, the explosion increases, dealing 84 points of damage to you as you are rattled with an explosion and an explosive force of great flame. As it tears through your system, roll me a survival. Ooh, okay, yep. This does not cause an injury to you. You have dealt with great heats before. This, in fact, definitely hurts, but it's not the thing that's killing you today, as that is the end of his turn.
This will only temper my body.
You can somewhat see him now. As the smoke is still relatively thick-ish. It's sort of like spreading out a bit, especially from the shockwave that the flames created. But either way, because of like the intensity of his flames as it erupted from the smoke cloud, you can now see him.
Okay, I will use my bonus action.
Okay.
That is like one of the worst.
That is one of the worst rolls that you not only have gotten, but also could have gotten. Okay, what's your other?
Right. Okay.
You know what's funny? I've also just realised that the two of you have almost identical health, but you actually have 1 point of health less than he does.
I'm gonna roll to. Actually, what can I roll to do other than? Okay, he's like combat ready healing.
Okay.
Heal. Okay.
Awesome. You're now down to 43 damage.
Okay. What do you package? I will attempt to send out another drone into the sky.
Okay, roll for it. Yep, you send out a drone. I mean, I'm not... It seems really... I mean, other than the fact that you'll get some XP from that, but it seems really redundant to get a natural 20 on something that I'm not reacting to.
It does. Yeah, I'll just have a drone fly to the top of the arena, basically.
Fair enough.
That's it. What's that?
This time, Tunga begins running towards you as he grabs his club and sort of begins running towards you.
Okay.
As he does so, he seems to pour something on his weapon and rushes as he goes, like, slamming his foot down and sort of trying to strike at you, like as if he's trying to hit a home run. And you're the ball.
Okay, that's concerning.
Whatever you do, don't be the ball.
Don't be the ball.
Thank you. Yet again, Fletcher.
I mean,
Don't be here.
don't have many options here. If I did that, that's still that work. Yeah, I will try and reactively blast him, I guess.
Okay. I started blasting!
Nope.
No, as he hits you. Just realised I've got to copy and paste this one now. I didn't actually think I'd get this far. And you feel it pretty quickly straight away. The weapon is coated in some kind of horrible poison, as when you get hit, you take all of this physical damage on top of this poison, as you are dealt 51 points of damage. Bam! As he then gets you away from the wall as well. It is now your turn.
Okay. I guess. Oh, I'll use my bonus actions anyway, I guess. Just because. I have a drone that is just there at the minute.
Yeah, I don't know what you've done here, but you've got a drone now.
The drone will help at some point, okay?
Of this, I'm sure. Blimey, moss grows quicker.
It does. Is a flamethrower within my capabilities?
Yes.
Okay. You know, in that case, I will try to. My drone needs to make a flamethrower.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'm going to try and basically use a flamethrower from above in aims to detonate all of the explosives on him, essentially.
Okay. Rough.
If he's got any left.
I think he has a few still. Still got to roll this other one. Okay, good. As the as this thing shoots out, that like launches this fire at him, he then looks up and goes, "You want a competition? Then why didn't you ask?" And he's sort of like, it almost looks like as if he's vomiting flame up at the drone as it hits against the drone's fireball and pushes all of the fire towards it, hitting it and completely like frying it. As it finally like falls down to the ground, completely like unable to really be used again. What was your plan there? I have flames myself. What?
That doesn't mean you're not vulnerable to fire.
I suppose that you are right, but still, most people have this kind of resistance. Then again, you're not most people, are you? You don't assume anything. Not unless if you've seen it for yourself.
All assumptions are dangerous.
As he slams his foot down and he breathes in yet again, "That they are!" And he then rushes towards you with his arm raised with the again, by the way, this entire time he has let his other arm just be completely held by the spring as he launches himself towards you and swings downwards with this club, trying to hit you into a sort of downwards motion.
Okay, this is awkward. Yeah, I can only try and blast them.
Blast. I'm still blasting.
Yeah, it's only
That's
31.
31. No, so you get hit again, and this is still covered in the poison. I nearly didn't add the plus there, and it nearly said, instead of +8 plus 2d12s, it nearly said plus 82 d12s.
That could be interesting.
Plus death. As you take 78 points of damage, roll me fortitude. Awesome. I'd also like you to roll me strength. And question, do you have any super strength?
Not right now.
I'd need you to roll me labor with disadvantage.
11.
Yeah, you get smacked down prone under the weight of this attack. As he then just says, "That's not over yet," as that was a combo they hit you with. As he goes again to raise his weapon yet again at you, and attempts to slam it right back down onto you. The second is always weaker than the first.
I'll do something interesting, but I don't have time. Yeah, I can try and blast them.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll me a... your stand over stand is active, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just normal then, yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow! All you needed was I think, yeah, all you needed was a 2 or even technically a 3 and you would have stopped me.
Yeah, that is literally just getting screwed over.
That is, yeah. As he strikes you yet again, dealing 67 points of damage. Roll me fortitude yet again. It does not cause injury, but you have now got a total of 204 damage, and you are still prone, as it is now your turn.
Okay. Bonus actions, because,
Because, God help me. Okay, nice.
Okay. I'll use...
You'll use what, sorry?
I'm trying to think if I... I'll use combat ready healing for now.
Okay, I'm going to ask. Okay, I now have to roll this. Because he is seeing this, and he's actually within point blank range, so he is allowed to attempt to react against you. And it fails.
Whew.
As you have now healed, you are still prone.
What to do? This is awkward.
You can either sacrifice a point to get up, or you can try and do something whilst you're still lying down there. Funnily enough, you could also potentially try to roll Dex to try and get up quick enough so that you can still have an action, but if you fail the roll requirement, then you are scundered.
Yes. In that case...
Get up,
Why
boy.
don't I just... You know what, I'm just going to transform.
Oh, what, into
That
like
way
some...
I don't need to get up.
That is true. That is entirely true. You can just turn into like some object or vehicle or something.
Yeah, I can. I'm... You know, it's tank time.
You become Tank. As he sort of, like, this guy sort of just smiles as you become this large object. As he raises his weapon, bolstering himself, and again attempts to swing at you.
Okay, tank. Let's go.
So is this a reactive blast?
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Yes!
Hey, nice. Yep. You blast him. Roll damage.
Get away from me.
Pew!
As you hit him, dealing 23 points of damage. It is now your turn.
Okay. In that case, bonus actions ago. Sorry. Damn it. I will use combat ready healing because I'm still in a lot of damage.
Okay. He's still going to try and reactively hit you with that, so that you don't. So I guess beat at 27.
That's rude as hell, man.
You beat a 27, which means he does not hit you. You remove 37 points.
Give me my health back. No, in this case, that's what I need. Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll just try and blast him again like that.
Okay, roll for it. Yep, and then roll damage, because again, he had already tried to react against you before.
Yeah, that's true.
These damage rolls are incredibly underwhelming.
I mean, what did you expect?
Something a little more. Yeah, okay. You damage him, it's his turn. As he goes in yet again, trying to club at the trying to club at the tank, which is very awkwardly ironic.
Fair enough, I guess.
Looks like a caveman not getting on with modern technology.
That's exactly what's happening.
And with that roll, it absolutely is. Roll damage.
Keep just blast him back into the wall. Just keep getting him away from.
Bloody hell.
When will you learn this, old man? You keep getting close, I'll fire you back.
I mean, look,
Well-
the martial artist didn't learn.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? As he gets hit by it.
I mean, they are from the south, so...
This is
what do you
your
expect?
turn.
Okay.
He looks very tired, by the way. He's like...
I have an idea. Stupid idea. I will use my bonus action first, because, you know. And then I will 3D print from in front of my tank another tank.
Is this... wait, just a straight up tank? Like, it's not even like a drone or anything, it's just a tank of like 6 meters or something?
Yep.
Okay.
Just a flap opens forward and a tank just.
And the way that I imagine it is that like it like prints the bottom half, and then it like a transformer shit just folds out of it until it becomes a fully formed tank.
Oh, I forgot what it's called, but it is literally like that transformer who just opens up his chest.
Soundwave.
Soundwave, yeah.
Yeah.
Sound, yeah.
But next Laserbeak.
But now, tank. Yeah. You know what? I will try and
Stand the tank engine.
envoy.
It's literally gonna become that meme of the one guy standing in front of several tanks.
I'm going to make another tank.
Where is this one like spawning this time? So like the first one was in front of you. I don't think that's really a possibility at this point.
No, this one is on my right side.
Okay. Oh, actually, it'll have to be your left side because of the barrier.
Okay, on my left side. Yeah. It's of course this. It's an RC tank, man. Oh, I don't think that works.
No.
Maybe 20. No,
You
my
fool.
plan of a tank convoy is gone.
So he grabs the original tank, like he just, with both of his hands, grabs the front of the tank, lifts it up, and then you can see him under it as like, is this what you wanted? And then he goes to like slam it down against you.
Okay, I'll try and reactively transform it. Into
Into what?
yeah, essentially the same thing as before, like an ion spring.
Okay, so it'll wrap around his other arm.
Yeah.
By the way, he's put his club down for this.
Cool. Do I get? Yeah. Okay. No, I have to roll, and then to make sure it's all. Yeah, it does work. Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Okay. And it sort of yet again sort of like slinks down, transforms, and just wraps around his. I'm going to say his entire body at this point, because that was a massive object.
Towards a 6-meter tank.
Yes. As it wraps around his entire body, and he's now just sort of standing there with his arms like coiled up together, and he basically is like tangled in, and he almost looks like a human-sized set of like. It's like a human-sized spring, and he's now inside of it, in the middle of this spring. As it's now your turn.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. There's not much else I can do at this point. There's only one thing that you need to do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus actions, and then
Ironically enough, I don't think you
him in
need
the
to.
teeth.
Blast him.
Blast him.
Roll.
Just blast him, man. Just keep blasting. That is not a great roll.
Be just enough.
But mine is with disadvantage. Mine's a 20.
Mine is a 23. 23 is better than 20.
Yes, indeed it is. As he sort of like just realised, he sort of shakes himself about and he tries to like sort of like use a spring to dodge as he goes, "I've got it!" Ooh.
Do the ion springs do the +8 thing then?
Yes, they also do that. If you'd like to roll that with +8 this time.
Yeah. Okay. Still underwhelming.
Wow. It does hit him. It does make the entire thing like vibrate in a really awful, weird way, and he sort of like launches back, hits against the barrier, or at least it looks like he hits against the barrier as he actually passes right through it, and then immediately sort of like as he begins turning back like upside down, as then the top part of the spring like hits against the floor, and he just bounces upwards. And as he's like flying in the air, he then finally breaks out of the spring and goes, "I'm free!" And then it comes crashing down to the ground. And it's just like, you then just hear Pinky like, "That's right, you're free! And out of the competition! Thank you very much!" As she goes, "Our winner is Stan!" People go just like chanting the name. Tank Stan, tank Stan, tank Stan, Stan the tank, Stan the tank, tank engine Stan. And one is like that people just go, "No, he's Stan, he's a tank, he's stank. You can't handle the stank." Do you stay in or do you leave?
I'll leave.
Fair. As you leave, all of your apparitions that you created in there are just sort of disappear and dissipate into nothing as you walk out. They eventually sort of like take the big club and sort of drag it out to give back to Tunga as it like grabs it and like hoists it over his shoulder, seemingly with like absolute ease. Whereas like the guys who are like pulling this giant club are like really struggling. As we come to Anarche. Anarche, what have you been doing?
I've been searching for my previous opponent, Mudra.
You eventually find him sitting sort of at a bench watching some of the fight. As it's sort of like it's just as it begins, like the gigantic fire, and then immediately the sonic wave to the chin. And he's just sort of like looking at it, and he notices you sort of arrive. But the only way that you can tell that he notices you is he goes, "Anarche, the Fury Fist, my last rival. To what do I owe the pleasure?"
Well, nice to see you too. Well, I came here for two reasons. One, I wanted to thank you for the match. It's been a while since I've had a good opponent. And the second thing, actually, was I was hoping you would teach me.
He finally removes his gaze from the battle and looks at you for the first time in this conversation. You would like me to teach you?
Yes. Well, I mean, as you saw, I was able to imitate your, what do you call it? Stormlord?
The Storm God's visage.
Storm God's visage, yeah. I was able to mimic it, but it's quite clear that your version is far superior. So, I was hoping you would teach me that, and in exchange I was actually gonna, well, I know you can copy, so I was willing to share one of my techniques.
He then sort of like breathes in and then just breathes out, stands up. I will be willing to do this, under the condition that you answer a question of mine.
Sure.
You are aware of Lord, the first supervillain, as they claim him to be?
Yes. A lot of people seem to think if he came back, it would cause a mass catastrophe.
I must ask, if you know of this individual, why is it that you desecrated his resting place?
To be fair, I had no interest in doing so. The only reason it came down to that even possibility was a man named Fergus, whether you may be aware of this man or not, was planning to bring Lord back as one of his puppets. So I kind of wanted to fight him, but one of my teammates made the decision to stop that from becoming a possibility.
Interesting. I was not entirely aware of this. Only a passerby informed me about what had happened, and I eventually looked on the band to find out what you had done. The images and the videos had shown your teammates attacking individuals there, but I was not entirely aware of what they were doing. Only to find 3 of your members had attacked the corpse at which he owned, and also his own sarcophagus, destroying it and then removing his body from it, only to later sever it and infuse it with the ground itself that it was made from. You have to understand that even if he was considered evil or not, he was still our ancestor, and we have great respect for him regardless.
No, that's completely understandable.
Even if we did not necessarily share his ideology, we definitely shared his blood, and that is still a level of respect that even he deserved, even whilst he slumbered. But the concern of whether or not he should have been resurrected is not up for us to discuss. But I will say, if he was being used as a puppet, that is the very thing that went against his morality. I know that it does not seem it, but even Lord had his lines that he did not cross.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know this Lord guy. I only heard that apparently from everyone that he was a super bad guy, but to be fair, most people tend to be more shades of grey, so I mean, I don't really have anything against them.
His name was Jenkar Ushima. Jenkar he wanted power, and so therefore he decided to breed his power into multiple gene pools to gather powerful children. However, during his initial attack and defeat against Origin, he realized that his children and his families would be in grave danger, so he sent them away to Garrison. Later on, they realized that after his third and final defeat, this was not far enough, and so they were taken all the way to the country known as Eden, in which now we live as nomads. That is far enough that you do not need to speak any further of this matter. I see that you are not a liar, nor are you a coward. So I will, in fact, teach you. Besides, I think that it would be good to learn some of your techniques as well as you learn some of mine.
Seems like a fair trade.
Eventually, you sort of begin. Eventually, he takes you to a certain location within this place. That you have like a dojo that he sort of takes you to, and he.
Shit, I have one of these.
You do indeed. As part of the list of things that Pinky and you wrote up, one of them was actually like.
Damn, I need to remember.
A training field, basically. As there's no, it's like a courtyard but there's no actual roof to it or anything for obvious reasons. As he then says, the first technique that you will need to learn is known as the Storm God's Arms. Now, first I should tell you, the reason why we call it the Storm God is not actually because it is based on the Storm God known as Thor. As a matter of fact, it's actually based on one of the iconographies that we were reading within one of the tomes. This tells us stories of other worlds and divines beyond our current knowledge. One of them...
Wait, divines?
Supposed beings who have creeped into godhood, either because that they are considered gods, or because that they are beings of sentient power. We're not entirely sure if they are actual gods that rule over the supreme factors of reality, if they are holy or evil or divine or even within other circumstances of alignment. All we know is that they hold great power and are beyond the usual capabilities of man, including that of the superhumans.
Huh. It's odd. Can't really say I've met any during my adventures during the universe, but if they're as powerful as you say, I doubt I would.
The divines are a little different. They are not necessarily considered gods in every way, shape, and form. They're more like minor deities that eventually took the role of becoming one of the or the most powerful within their universe, and eventually outgrew it, serving the purposes of a greater and crueler creation. Regardless of this, the Storm God's visage is one of which that I created after reading within the book its secrets. He was supposedly incredibly strong, foremade within his own makings, and created many powerful abilities and gifts, to which that would destroy or create within any realm that he needed to. He was considered both chaotic and also kind. Now, to show you of this, I might as well. He then takes out... he then basically takes out his arm, and it begins sort of creating energy around him, and eventually it sort of forms a very faint-looking hand. And he clasps his hand. As he does so, this energy sort of construct begins to sort of form a little bit more clearly. As it's no longer vague, it becomes more detailed, and eventually it also too closes its fist. This technique is the first of many. The Storm God's Visage Arms. It is a usage style between both your own ability and your concentration, so we shall learn this first. I will roll the roll to see if you learn it with advantage, disadvantage, or regular.
No. Man, I clearly haven't gotten to the peak if I haven't outgrown any universes yet.
Wow. Okay. If you're not rolling this as an advantage, I don't know what means that you roll with an advantage. Yeah. So.
Should I just roll 2d20s plus my modifier 5 times then?
So technically, what you're doing is you're just rolling it 5 times.
Yeah.
The way that the usage style actually works is that it is SP and SPMA. So in other words, it would be technically 5 d20s plus 10, and then 5 d20s plus
5 d20s 10
plus 15 as the second.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean 12, 19, 24, 24, and 29.
Yep.
And then 5 d20s plus 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, 17, 18. Man, my math is horrendous.
You got 30. You got 30, 29, 17, 18. No, sorry. 27, 18, and then you've then got 17. So that's all good. You can now roll the 5d20s plus 10 again, because again, this is with advantage. And actually, now that I realise... Oh, I was going to say, now that I realise you don't actually need to roll that many. You only need to roll the last one, so I'll just count the first one that you got, which is 11. Yeah, so you've now learned the Storm Guard's arms. As you sort of begin to create them, they don't actually appear in the same sort of aura colour as yours, as his. So his is sort of like a dark blue. Yours becomes sort of like a golden, almost like pure bright white sort of like colour, as again it appears around your arms and such. Afterwards, he then states that the next step is then known as the Storm God's ribs, his chest and his armour. It is a divine protection against at least one singular attack, unless if the attack is relatively insanely powerful. Normally, what it will do is it will take your damage and turn it into durability, equivalent to how much durability damage you deal with your maximum output. So your maximum damage may be, for instance, your maximum damage may be like 48. So there'll be a 480 because your SP is plus 10.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
However, it also the ribs also take durability damage. So
yeah,
easy come, easy go. This is a new skill. You are again rolling with advantage, so you can roll 2d10s plus 15 5 times.
2d10s?
Oh, sorry, 2d20s plus 15, sorry. 2d10s. Yes, you get an advantage, but you're not allowed to roll with a d10. Good luck.
I was going to say... Oh, I should have rolled. Oh, well, I'll just subtract that off the 5, so I guess...
No, I said with SPMA anyway, so so you can now do it with plus 15.
Yeah. So I guess I'll roll again.
Yep, and then you're pretty much doing this again a couple of times.
Yep, I'll just copy and paste it.
Yep. So the roll requirement is 15. So in other words, don't get a lower roll than 2.
5. Oh, 2. And that was almost.
And then one last one.
Yeah.
Nice. Again, sort of you begin to create this sort of, again, perfect white, bright rib cage that sort of appears around you. Now he asks to use, like, there are 2 more things that you need to learn, and then one is relatively optional, which is, he says, the legs. The legs are actually something that he actually has, like he adds to his Storm God Visage to actually have it that, like, technically if there are any attacks on the ground or any attacks that affect the ground, he doesn't get affected by it. But also it's because that then this whole body has the aspect of him being able to, like, stay within inside of this, you know, energy construct and be a minimum of, like, 10 meters off the ground or something. But it's up to you if you want that or if you just
legs seem convenient, so I will take them.
Fair. This one is again another 15. Let me try and see this. Yep. This is again advantage because this is 1 increment above the original roll requirement. Again, this is a 15. Nice. That's 2 successes worth. So that's already 2. 3. 4. And then one last one for 5.
5.
Yep. As again, you create these things, and it's sort of weird because as you do so, your energy pushes you off the ground as it begins to sort of almost 3D print out of white light these legs, which feels very weird because you're like floating halfway through them.
Whoa.
After about like 30 seconds or so, they begin to fade again.
Oh.
as he tells you that these techniques all only last for about 60 seconds or so, with all of them having very drastic limitations due to the way in which they last. However, the reason as to why is because that over his time he had to perfect the creation of them again and again and again till he mastered their continuous use over time. He then says that he is able to teach you one last one before the final technique that combines all of these together. And as he said, there is technically another optional one on top of that, in which that he also says the next one is a reactive defensive style that potentially helps you, and the other one is actually something that creates the weapon inside of their hands. So he first teaches you the cloak effect, also known as the skin. This requires this is basically something that isn't necessarily part of the whole effect. This is actually a separate skill where once you've learnt how to use these constructs, it becomes a lot easier to be able to do this. It's a defensive style that if you succeed, it basically means that you create energy that blocks an attack, and as long as it doesn't beat your roll, you can remove the damage. However, the only thing is that what it does is it takes off. If you slightly beat your opponent, it takes off your maximum damage from the attack that you get hit by.
Yeah.
If you get 5 or above, it just removes all of the damage from the attack that you get hit by.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So again, I'll show you that one by, again, rolling. So this time, again, it's the same as 15 or above. This is just
normal.
5. Yeah, this is 5 normal ones. Again, this is 15 or above. Technically, I guess actually 10 or above, now that I think about it, because it is still a defensive style, but yeah.
Okay. Let me just copy this one. Just make it look quick. Ah.
Ooh, 25 again. Ooh, 24.
4,
Damn.
31, and 28.
Nice. So that's again a reactive style that allows you to defensive style that allows you to just basically roll it. If you equal to or get higher than your opponent, you use your maximum damage as a defense. If you get 5 above your opponent, it removes all of the damage from your attack.
Cool.
From the attack that's hitting you anyway. Next from that is now the second from last time, which is the weapons within the Storm God's presence. So I just need to write this down. So it's that. Just have to have a look again. So it is.
I like to think Stan is making his tanks around about now.
Around about now, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the last one is pretty much the swords, unless if you don't care.
I'm taking swords.
He does state that it doesn't always need to be swords. Some of his like brothers who have created this technique have done other things. For instance, like one of them creates a sword out of black flames. Another one actually creates swords out of like spatial and psychic disturbances. One of them actually creates like a giant bow, and one of them even stated that he doesn't even create swords. He actually just basically creates instead of arms, like tentacles that actually grab physical weapons and objects to wield as weapons in the first place. Either way, he says that technically if you have energy manipulation, it doesn't need to be a sword. It's just the ability is called the Storm God's Blades.
Right.
Again, this is a 15 requirement. With that, you can roll with advantage.
Alright.
Two.
Yeah. I hope I don't fight today, because it seems like all my rolls are going to go into this. And then just one more. Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I'm good.
Awesome. Okay. And the last one is now the master skill that he combines this all. This is known as the True Storm God Visage. This is known as the Storm God Visage or the Storm God Avatar. This is his master skill, and he actually has two versions of it, but he stated that he can't necessarily easily teach you the second one. In fact, he even states that the second one is impossible without the first.
Right.
Because the second one is not actually an SPMA. It is a willpower technique.
Right. That makes sense.
He tells you that this particular ability... let me put it this way. If he does not get... if he does not get 20, it's going to be a disadvantage.
Right.
Because it is a master skill.
Yeah. No.
Disadvantage rolls.
Let's go. Oh wait, I already have this copy and pasted. So yes.
Okay, yeah. Again, all you need is a 10. So
yes.
Technically, all we're looking for is a natural 1. So
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
that was so.
For me.
As soon as I said disadvantage, every roll that you got was under a 10. At this point,
yeah.
it was just putting you on edge continuously. Like, ooh, is it? So you finally wield it. You activate this ability, and it begins transforming your entire energy into a gigantic energy mech around you, as it creates itself the ribs, the legs, the arms, and then an entire energy skin around it, as it then begins to sort of lift up into the air. As it does so, he then sort of looks at it and admires it. And as it does so, its then hands open up and begin sort of creating like orbs of energy that it then grabs in both hands. What weapons appear in its hands? Or on its hands?
You know, in one hand it's a sword, in the other it's a knuckle duster.
Fair. As both appear, as in the left hand... It wields. It has a knuckle duster wrapping around its knuckles, and in its right hand, it wields a large energy blade. As you barely, but you still hear him like screaming, like, "Yes, this is the power of the Storm God. The Ushima blood welcomes you into its ranks. With your powers and my teachings, you can become even greater."
I just, lower myself down, come out of the form and get, wait, so... does that make us family, or...?
Your abilities are beyond the usual muck within this world that I have met, but even though that you are not with blood, an Ushima, you definitely have the capabilities to learn as I did. You are a prodigy. Raw talent like this is impressive. It's a shame that you aren't like us. I can't imagine the amount of abilities and techniques you could learn from others, especially so quickly.
Yes, I mean, that would be very convenient, I have to be honest. Although it's more interesting, I think, to learn this way. I get to know the person, you know?
Your flattery gets you everywhere.
I know. I do try.
Besides, I should probably inform you that the other technique is going to be a little difficult, but it still is possible. Are you privy to certain techniques such as manipulation of your own spiritual energy?
Very much so, yes.
Then this last technique will be just as possible as the last. As he then, claps his hands, and then his fingers go in between each other to clasp both of them, as then his energy surges, and he leaps into the air, as the legs are created, and so is the aura. The ribs build themselves around him. The arms stretch out as it actually creates 4, each one holding a sword, and the creation also makes 2 heads as it stands at about 30 meters tall, and he's about like midway into its abdomen. You then notice that the energy coming off of this one is more like the one that he used in the tournament. And you are definitely noticing, even though that your energy is a lot more powerful than his in the terms of manipulation, that his is giving off a much more powerful vibe than the last one that you created, as it is generating and controlling his own spiritual essence within it.
Ah, and that's more like it.
I'm going to ask you to roll me something in a second. I will roll to see how good or how bad this was. Now, just as a point out, I used his bonus action, so even if I get a natural 1, it still
works.
It still works.
Yeah, let's just see what I'm rolling, basically.
Okay. You'll be rolling normally. I don't know why I did 15. Don't worry, it's not 15. It's with
10.
plus 10, so it's 13.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be rolling. Willpower for this one.
Okay.
You need to get.
Which is it under a specific teaching?
This is spirit.
Cool. So I can roll spirit for this.
Yes. Now, fun fact. Nice. That's 2 out of 5. Fun fact. Even though that this is technically his like ultimate master or master skill, whatever. If you have any concrete skills that use any of the techniques that he has, you will still be able to add them into this ability because he is teaching you them.
What is it that I need to get?
Pretty much 10 or 15.
All right.
So, yeah, pretty much.
If it's 10, then I succeed.
I mean,
if it's 50.
I mean, he rolls a 10 for it, so I'm fine with it.
Are you sure? I could always. Actually, no. We have a rule on this, don't we? It's if you're learning someone's master skill, if you're not the same level, you have to roll what it would actually be without the.
I mean, you are
skill.
a master at both of the abilities that he's used, so yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you eventually do the same, like clasp your hands together and infuse both of your hands as well as your energy with this aura, as well as your spirit, and as it creates, it manifests in the same way as you lift up. And I want to point out is that as you begin making this entire construct, which I now need to have a look at just to see the legs. Arms, legs.
Now I have the perfect ability to go and bully some humans.
Okay. So your range is of energy manipulation is 100, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, this thing can, if you want, stand up to the top, up to the same size as 100 meters, or it can match the same height as his. It's up to you.
Oh no, I've got to flex. Come on.
Okay.
I gotta go 100.
As it goes up to his size, and it goes, "Well done. This is wait. Where are you going?" As it just keeps going and going and going. Now, I want to point out his is about 30 meters tall. Yours keeps going for another 70 meters. As basically, this thing is its crotch is at his one's head. As he's looking up at you. You then sort of see like a surge of energy come from his, and I think...
Can I just pick his up and bring it up to my level?
Well, actually, it's funny because as you're about to do so, you see like the energy surge from it as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually you notice something interesting that's quite funny. it gets bigger than yours, but only by an extra 20 meters, as it's just slightly bulkier version of yours. I want to point out the only real differences between yours, other than color and about 20 meters size, is that his has 4 arms, whilst yours has 2.
Oh. Well, now I feel like the child in this situation.
I want to point out he's looking down at you with his arms crossed and a very sort of like cheeky smile, like, yeah. And you're just thinking, like, yeah, but if
Damn it. He has the bigger penis.
Either way, like, everyone is, like, terrified because they're just seeing this, and eventually you sort of, like, you know, depower them down and stuff. As we come to Fletcher. Fletcher, most of your teammates are agreeing that it's now your turn to go into the ring. Especially because Anarche told you that it was his plan to put you in second.
I'm sure he had a reason for it. And Fletcher gladly accepts it.
You walk into the arena, and as you do so, you then notice that Daius Miyamoto stands up and walks into the arena as well.
Just a giant smile on Fletcher's face.
Again, his intense eyes still open. No smile. His eyes are wide open. His hair is a little longer than the last time that you met him. He again, sort of a dark, deep blue hair, a sort of navy blue, like a navy gi that has definitely been replaced multiple times at this point, because the last few times that you've seen him with it, it definitely does not look as clean as this one does, or as well done as this one does, considering the last time that you saw it. The first ever time that you saw him, he had sleeves on it. Then it was missing a sleeve, the second time that you saw him. Then the version that you actually saw on the London Sunken Moon didn't have any sleeves. And this one, although it doesn't have any sleeves, it's definitely a different one. Because it's no longer in tatters like the last ones. He does still have 2 swords either side of him, a sword either side of him. And he begins walking in. He has no smile on his face until you begin to grin. His lips begin to sort of perk up, as then he sort of smiles as well, as his cheeks sort of embellish him a sort of a jolly look. But even more creepily, his eyes do not change size or anything like that. His eyes are still just as open as they were. As you both meet each other 2 meters apart in the center of the ring.
Daius! Been a bit.
What's it been? A week?
Week and a bit.
I hope that you know that this is going to put an end to any of your silly notions of beating me, once and for all.
You know me, I'll probably come back 2 weeks later. I'm just in it for the fights. And yours are always the most entertaining.
I assumed that would be the case, but I thought that I'd tell you now, Fletcher. You are no longer anything that I should ever concern myself with. Originally, I was concerned with your compatriot, what was it, Adrian? And then later on, I was seeing the possibilities of Felix. Then afterwards, it was Cloak. And finally, it was you. But after seeing the incredible capabilities of your astute tournament creator, I want to see if I can fight Anarche. So I won't be losing so easily to you. However, who knows? Maybe you'll beat me? And maybe I'll finally taste defeat at your hands.
That's true, but there's always the chance that you do fight him and you get your well-placed goal.
As Pinky then said, like, she's been talking this entire time, but it's just like the conversation between you two makes everything else around you just seem completely muffled and nothing until you say that and you hear Pinky say, "Begin!" Roll me move speed.
Mm-hmm. Just to clarify, am I in any transformation or am I just in default mode?
You did not specify, so no.
Just confirming. That's fine.
I got a terrible roll. I got
You just
two
have to be annoying,
berries.
Fletcher. You got this.
Yeah.
There you go.
As you will be going first.
Just before I do anything, I put out my hand towards Dias and be like, "To a good fight."
I don't know if he believes you enough. I'm gonna have to ask you: Is this deceit? Because if so, I will need you to roll me a deceit check.
No, this is just straight up. It's like to a fight that may be memorable.
So let me get this straight. You're not planning on attacking him whilst he's doing this.
No.
Okay, so
You know Fletcher, he doesn't go for cheap shots.
well, I just wanted to know
Especially
because
with this, because he respects him.
roll me persuasion. The only reason I asked this is because I needed to know just in case if there was any particular type of trickery afoot.
I got the 2 this time.
He does. You don't sound trusting. You're like, hey, it's not like I would, attack you or anything, or just shake my hand, and this could all go away. And he's just like, I think I see what you mean. And he sort of grasps your hand as you shake it. It's like he then backs up and again waits for you to sort of make a move as he places his hand on one of his blades, waiting for you.
Right. First off, I will activate the usual Spirit Warrior.
Yeah. Sweet.
Succeed. And I will be trying a new technique that Fletcher has been thinking of and has remembered from back in the ruins. He will take his staff and put it inside his right arm, and he will go into a fighting stance with just his fists.
Okay, I need you to roll me SP to do so that you can actually fuse it into. Nice. Oh wait, no, you haven't rolled it. I just saw. I don't know why it just delayed it. It sent me the same message about your original roll for Spirit Warrior. Yep, awesome. As you phase it into your arm, it's half sticking out of your elbow and then half sticking out of your the top part of your fist. Because again, it is a staff. It is pretty damn long.
Mm-hmm.
As he sort of just looks at you, sort of weirded out for a second, and then just sort of smiles, and he sort of goes backwards, grabs his sword, and takes it out as you see the blade Dark Drift, the slightly almost invisible sword, as he begins to go into his stance. You have a sensory ability within this transformation, don't you?
Yes, I have both insightful will as well as instinctive will.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you sense a great deal of power coming from him. It is almost entirely overwhelming. That there's something coming from this guy that is not natural. That his willpower is almost creating a unpleasant feeling within your very body. Your bones feel as if he's almost like an actual monster. As I must roll this just in case.
Let's not forget, I also have predictive will.
Yeah. You're predicting that this is going to be an absolute pain in the arse.
It will be, but it will be fun nonetheless.
Okay, I'm just having a look at this. Okay. Nice. And then I just have to have a look at this. Is this the ability that I think it is? Okay, right. And you are trying to react against this. As he charges towards you, you need to beat a 29.
Yeah, I think I will stick with phase counter.
Okay.
Ooh!
Hmm.
19?
That's a 34.
Yeah.
So what did I get? 29? Oh, yeah, so that's exactly. So you
Yes,
can
either
deal
above.
damage.
Alright. So, punch!
I mean, it's still phase counter anyway, so it's just, phasing damage.
Yes.
You got this, Fletcher.
Right, so phasing damage, and that's just normal phasing damage. Plus spirit, willpower.
Yeah.
So just
Douche. Yep. As you hit him. That's all I can say about it. Is you hit him, and it's now your turn.
come on, Dice, can't be pulling the same tricks again.
He looks at you with a smile, but his eyes do not change. He does not blink. He continues to stare at you with an intense stare that actually makes your spine tingle.
Ooh, nice. Let's go with phase cutter combo.
Okay.
Activation.
Yep.
And to punch. Double hit. Am I allowed to call double hit before I roll?
Yes.
Okay, let's hope for double hit because that needs a 15 at least. Okay, double hit.
I got a 30 and you got a 30. So yeah, we're both hitting each other.
Sweet. Is that right? Yes, it is. Oh, I missed a 3. Because I'm also hitting with the other arm, correct? So, 54.
Okay. I have to have a look at this real quick. Jeez, okay. Where is that coming from?
Base!
Sorry, I was just looking at something for this.
You're all good.
So that's so that's 8. So what is what he does? Okay, so that's 8 on top of that. So that's 24.
Don't believe in yourself, Fletcher. Believe in the me that believes in you.
And RK says I can do it. I can do it! But yeah.
There's only one outcome. That's Fletcher's victory.
It will happen.
I have faith. This has taken a while.
Yep, sorry, I'm just trying to find it. It took forever. I've now found it. He has so many different damages now.
Well, because he has a multitude of weapons as well, doesn't he? So.
He has a multitude of weapons and a multitude of different damage outputs and damage types that he can do with each weapon.
Yeah.
This
That's
is his attack. Oh, that says 4d12s. That's a bit weird. It's 2. Okay. As you deal 51, he deals 57 to you. As you hit him...
4, because there was a double hit. I just forgot the other 3.
Okay, so 54, okay. As you take 57 points of damage.
And this was a combo, so do I get to go again?
Yes, but so will he in the terms of his reaction, just so you know.
Fair enough. Charge the power. It fails! So I guess this is just normal combo.
Okay.
Beat a 20, Joe.
Oh man, do I have to?
Yeah, sorry.
Was it 54 plus... Okay, sorry, I'm just adding his damage so I know how much damage he's taken so far. There we go. Natural 20.
Oof.
As you are hit by the attack yet again by his weapon Dark Drift. As you take 74 points of damage this time, which breaks your vitality.
It
I would like you to roll me a fortitude. Oh dear. So you needed a 10, so you failed a 10 and you failed a 5. That is d6, d8. Roll me a d8. That's how many turns it lasts, and then roll me your first d8 of damage as you are bleeding.
Oh boy, blood. It's a 5.
As you lose 5 extra points of health.
I still believe in you.
As it's now his turn, as your blood begins to spill from the side of you, sort of holding your side for a sec, as he's just sort of looking at you again. He goes, I admit that you do pack a wallop. As a matter of fact, as a man, it would actually be quite unbecoming of me to ignore pain. You do hit hard, but I'm afraid, Fletcher, you're fighting with fists in what seems to be a weapon war. He then takes his blade in only one hand and removes his other blade from his other sheath. Now, the real fight begins.
Bring it on. What the hell?
On the bright side, that is not his attack. On the not so bright side, that is his attack.
Deja vu. I've been in this place before.
Higher in the street.
Don't lose faith. You got this.
Is Crusher.
No.
Dice just gives me all the bad luck.
Dice is bad luck.
Yeah, it's just your hard counter, isn't it?
Fudu counter. As he hits you with both of the blades in an X-shaped formation, he deals 83 points of damage to you. That again breaks your vitality, yep, so again you're rolling me fortitude. Oh, okay, nice. As it ends your turn, you need to roll me another d8. Or ends his turn, sorry. See, I could have been nasty and given you another combo.
I'm out.
No, you're not. You're on 220. You have 221 health. You are 1 point away.
You have this. One hit dream. You got this.
Still standing.
This is just the climactic build-up, Fletcher. This is just gonna make your real the sweeter. Come on. You're gonna win.
Also, you still have your overdrive, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You got this. You're gonna win.
As always, Dias, you hit like a speeding dump truck.
I don't know what that is, as he still says with a smile on his face and his open wide eyes.
But I'm still in the fight.
For now.
Well, let's see. Phase Crusher. Let's hope. 20. Joe, do you think you could beat a 20?
I mean, I'll try. I think that's a yes from me. I shall roll the dams.
Okay. We'll be getting serious after this.
Oh, I hope so. 59. That does not break your vitality. But that definitely puts you over your health pool, which now puts you under.
No.
As he hits you again with the X-Slash, you sort of like go down and you fall to the ground, sort of just like immediately like back hitting the ground as Dias sort of then just sort of like turns around and raises his weapons.
Willpower?
Willpower, yeah.
What you're doing is, may I ask, have you been listening to that song?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
The drums of war begin then.
Mm-hmm. It's guaranteed.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. As he sort of raises his sword, he then turns around as he sort of notices as... I want to point this out, like, in your mind, when you saw him, you saw a great big flame and his face almost lit up like a demon. When he turns around, he sees in his mind an inferno of souls rising along with you. As you do get up, your eyes are almost like tinted with your own blood. As the blood from his attack splashed your eyes, you look at him and he looks back at you, and he doesn't see a demon like you saw, he sees a devil staring back at him. As it is now your turn.
That's a little bit better. So, Dias, let's get this real fight started.
Edgily talking whilst looking like a monster. I'll do. I'll take. I'll bite. Whatever you want. Let's give it our best, I guess.
I'll smash.
I'll smash. Let me smash. Got stick, Becky. Get stick. Let me smash.
We'll smash, okay. It's straight away back into another Phase Crusher.
That's more than fair. That is more than fair. That was with a... Okay. Just as a reminder...
Is there advantage now?
Yes, yeah, I was just going to say, just as a reminder, you're not in Spirit Warrior mode, because you lose it.
Shit, hit the ground. So, advantage roll to activate Spirit Warrior.
No.
So, let's see.
Okay, so you're doing advantage roll at Phase Crusher, yeah?
Yep.
So that's a 26 I need to beat. I do not beat it. Oh, wait. No, I don't beat it, no.
Alright, and to add Punchy.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yep.
Let me just grab a different power attack right now. If it will load. There we go. And would you say that's enough for a double hit?
Yeah.
Good.
Just don't forget the extra 3 this time.
I won't. And the damage is now copied. And Mac.
Hey, Stu.
Oh wait, it's still Phase Crusher, so yeah, but it's using abilities.
Is it that? Is it?
Take away the 4, the 3, and the 3 and the 1 because there's no spirit damage in there. Oh wait, no, 31.
I'm gonna have to ask you to re-roll it because that's way too many things that you need to sort out. So I'll delete
Actually,
it.
it's only the 3 and the 1.
Because you don't have any spirit damage in there, so
Yep.
you'll have to redo it.
It did more damage.
It did more. You know what? Fair enough. It did more.
Nice. That's what you want.
So, let it be said that you dealt more, and I'm still just as happy.
You know, Fletcher, you have 6 turns. You're only going to need 4 of them.
I'm only going to need 2.
2 of them are going to be celebratory.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's plus 75. Nice. Okay, so plus 75 onto what he's taken. For the first time ever, I actually do need to roll Constitution. And I am fine.
You are good, sir.
And it is now his turn. That's good enough. Good enough.
Jeez. We're getting a lot of these today.
As he's rushing towards you with both of his blades, with the demonic smile on his face.
I do the same, rushing towards him in a Phase Crusher. Natural 20!
Wow!
That's what it needs. Let's go.
If you beat him with this is actually the perfect full Karma Mobius strip at this point. Like, you have come full circle at this end goal, because how did he beat you in the first time that you fought him? Natural 20. Yeah, roll damage.
This is just everything's normal. Wait, is this double damage? Or
No,
is it just
it's
because
only
it's
double
reactive?
if it's yours. If it's reactive,
Yeah.
it's still normal.
Okay. No, not the... I rolled the spirit damage.
Okay, just
I will
re-roll again without it. And then
I
Kane,
took away everything else.
if you could delete the older one.
I can do that.
Awesome.
28!
Fuck. Okay. Yeah, you deal 28 points of damage.
Now I'm getting into the swing of things.
He sort of staggers back as he's just like sort of looking at you and goes, okay. Okay, Fletcher. Even though that you're probably not even conscious during this point, I'll tell you this, and hopefully it screams loud into your soul. I recognize you! As he goes towards you for an attack.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, no, it was your turn.
Yeah,
So
because
he still states what he states, but it's just he readies himself
Fair.
for an attack. He waits for your attack.
As I reignite the spirit.
Okay.
I hope that stance is enough to take more punishment! But I thank ye. As another Phase Crusher. Oh, 30.
Ooh, a nice old 30, eh? Yep. You definitely hit him.
Let's go, Fletcher. Finish
Come
this.
on, Fletcher. We got this now.
Let's see.
The rolls have aligned.
20, so that's enough for a punch!
You got this.
But I don't know if that's enough for a punch against him, because isn't it you have to Beat his roll.
Does it beat his roll? That's the it beats.
No, it doesn't. I've got
It does
25.
beat his roll. It does not beat. So yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, either way, the normal phase and the spirit is still added. Either way.
D3!
Nice. Plus 53. Nice. Awesome. So yeah, as you go through him, like, yet again, it's like, as he readies his eye, he goes, I recognize you! Is that enough? Is that stance going to be enough? And I thank ye, and you both go through each other as it's the samurai slash down moment as you go right through him. And as that happens, it's sort of like it goes entirely like deathly quiet. As these two, like, I want to point out, Anarke, you are actually watching this fight. And you're watching these two clash again and again and again, and it's just like, Fletcher is on his last legs with this, and this guy is actually putting up a really decent fight, especially considering you don't sense him having any superpowers. But as you see like this weird energy and this wavering power coming from Fletcher, it almost feels like as if it's not necessarily another soul, but it's almost like another hidden aspect of Fletcher. Whatever that is or whatever that means, it's not necessarily actually Fletcher. There's something about it that just isn't right with him and right with his life essence. And as the two of them clash, you feel there sort of a move over everyone, a quietness, as this battle is the only thing left. Like as if there is nothing outside of that arena. As you hear like a silent drip of blood hit the ground. And you see Fletcher, the wound that he has, continue to bleed as it drips 1, 2, and a third time. But on the fourth time, there does not come the sound of a drip of blood. There comes a sound of a fully grown man hitting the ground face first, unconscious, as his swords touch the arena floor. As the entire arena goes crazy as Pinky announces, Daius Miyamoto has been defeated by Fletcher Motatame! As the crowd goes completely wild. And Anarke, you see this. And it is incredible to sort of feel everyone else's like incredibly intense emotions, but even more so than anything else, the weird thing is that you don't feel a sense of pride from Fletcher. You don't feel a sense of anger or a sense of relief. You feel a sense of almost nothing. It's almost a sense of this continued rage and this continued, like, powered up state of, like, continued frustration as he turns around to look back at the unconscious Daius Miyamoto.
Now that was a good fight, my friend. Finally, I've cleared the wall. Now, let's get you back to the other side of the barrier.
Fletcher grabs him and begins dragging him back. And eventually, as you like clear him from it, and he passes through, he does awaken, only to see you sort of standing there. In this sort of like menacing sort of like appearance. You also like you're standing there and you're about to say something as you do you try to take a step forward, or do you just sort of stay there and try and speak in this form?
Well, he's getting up, so I wait. I shall stand before I speak.
He eventually gets up and he looks at you and he says, He then closes his eyes and reopens them. You've beaten me. Well played. As you feel suddenly a coldness grip you as you begin to fall unconscious as you phase out of the arena and suddenly awaken, not remembering anything of the last few minutes of your fight.
Oh, there's chill in the air. Oh, hi, Dias. Did you win again?
I wish I could say yes, but you were the one who beat me, friend. As he gives you his hand to enable you to get up.
Wait, really? Oh, that's... Well, I'll need to check back the video to see, but I hope it was at least a good fight, friend. As I grasp his hand.
After he gets you back up, he eventually goes back into the arena to collect his blades. And then he walks out. As Pinky is still announcing the victories and the defeats of the last two contestants. It's now stating that they're now waiting for the next one of the kings to appear in the arena. Anarche, you look across your team and you look over at the other team, and you're thinking, there could be a good chance of you testing some new things.
Yep. Am I in the crowd? Am I on my side? Where?
You are on your side, yeah.
Okay. Alright. I'll wait for Fletcher to come back over first.
He arrives.
I hold out a hand and go, well done, Fletcher.
Thanks. Okay, I guess you were right to believe in me.
Well, I mean, of course I am. I mean, in that aspect, you're far stronger than I am. At the moment.
Hey, maybe we should have a sparring match at some point.
Maybe, although after this fight, you may want to reconsider.
You had to go all out?
No, actually, I intend to play a bit.
You always did like teasing your opponents.
Yes, well, let's just say I've been off learning some new things. Also, did you know we had like a dojo here? I entirely forgot.
We have a dojo?
I know, right? Apparently I signed the thing with Pinky. I don't remember any of this.
Oh shit, I gotta go practice there sometime.
Yeah, it doesn't have a roof, as you know, but
As you then just hear like a slightly annoyed Pinky announcing voice just going, and as we wait for the Kings of the Hill to choose their next fighter.
I think she's getting a bit mad. I should probably go.
Yeah. Well, good luck in there, bud. Have fun.
I will. Before I walk in, Joe, I'm going to transform into my willpowered form.
Okay, you do so.
Because these humans love their willpower.
They do. Roll for it. Which, unless if you get a natural one, it doesn't matter.
They have to be a 33, so...
You walk into the arena and you notice the one who gets up and walks in is a Western cowboy style looking motherfucker. As he walks in, you see that he's got like a rifle on his back, a big old sort of like 10-gallon hat looking thing. He's got 3 pistols, one on his one basically on his chest that's on a holster, and the other 2 either side of his hips as he walks in with his arms crossed. He also has something over his mouth. It seems to be some kind of like mask of some sort.
So, what's your name?
Well, my name is Cass, and I'm assuming you must be Nake.
Yes. And I should apologize in advance.
And I should do so as well. I know that I'm
Ooh.
not one of your fighting types. I'm pretty sure that you aren't exactly the kind to enjoy gunslinging within a fighting contest, but it is all I do.
I understand the thrill of gunslinging. I'm not as great as it as I am at many things, but I can definitely understand the thrill of it.
Well, I hope that you'll hear me out on this, because I'm looking forward to this competition, regardless of how quickly or how slowly this takes. As you then hear Pinky say, "Begin!" And I would like you to roll me a move speed.
Ooh.
Fun fact, I chose this one because I assumed that at some point someone else might very well want to fight the last one.
Yep.
Very considerate, Joe.
Of
It is.
course I am.
I mean, hey, you finally beat Dice. That's the main point of this.
That is definitely the main point of this, to be honest.
Yeah.
The rest of this team doesn't matter.
No.
I have to be honest.
The only things that mattered was Stan's fight because it's a Stan fight and your fight.
I have avenged my eye.
I mean, he's not wrong. Yep, you go first.
Before I do anything, I want to go. So, did you watch my last match?
I did indeed.
I cut my hands together. Then you should know what comes next.
Wait,
I'm
what?
So I'm going to use the willpower variant
Roll willpower.
as I jump into the air. And it works.
You create a variant up to 30 meters tall as you are midpoint into the body.
Does this make the weapon as well?
This does indeed make the weapon.
Then I'm going to make a giant ass sword.
So the giant ass sword, as you claim, will do half of your maximum energy damage on top of your energy-based attacks,
Nice.
including wielding this attack. So the
I'm gonna make it style-wise look like Swartle.
Okay. The damage you deal is obviously based on your energy damage plus then your half damage, so it's like basically 1.5, and then adding on spirit damage.
Cool. As I go to swing down this blade upon him.
Well, shit, I guess I should have forfeited the second And as that happens, I will see if he actually even gets a chance to finish that word.
We will see. Ooh.
As you slam it down, he does, in fact, like, quickly pop off and fire a shot at you. As it does go through your, lovely, thingamajiggy. I'm just having a look.
So we both do damage, then.
Technically, I'm just having a look. Just having a look at Vera. Okay. Yes, so it is... Yeah, so you do damage and he does damage.
Cool.
As the bullet goes right through the ribcage, which is very weird as it pierces right through you and deals 30 points of damage. However, he goes, and here I was thinking that I should probably forfeit. And as that thing comes down, even though his arms are still crossed, you notice that almost instantly his other arm like turns around his body, grabs the biggest pistol on his body, pulls it out and fires the shot before the blade comes down and hits him. It still definitely hits him and still definitely deals 74 points of damage, but it's the fact that he was able to get that shot off so quickly is kind of the more scary part. As you deal
impressive.
74 points of damage, geez, and he does 30 against you, as this seems to be infused with spatial.
Ah. That makes the sense.
Now, just have to roll this. That's 4. He is relatively fine, other than the fact that he has been hit by a giant sword.
Yep.
Okay. And it is now it's now his turn.
Yep.
This is going to be one of the most one-sided things, and I love it for it. But it's still so funny. It's just the most one-sided fight.
A cowboy fighting a mech.
But yeah.
Spirit energy.
I don't care much for your tone, and immediately gets crushed. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. That's because you're a giant mech.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Yeah. As he then sort of afterwards, like after you hit it, your sword down, he begins sort of moving slightly to the side as he pulls out one of his other pistols and sort of like it begins sort of spinning around. This one is actually like the biggest one that he has. So he has 3 pistols, one quite large one sort of roughly normal-sized one on his chest, and one massive one on his left hip. As he takes the largest one on his left hip, points that towards you, and fires at this one as it shoots towards you.
You know what? From the blade, I'm gonna keep the blade in the ground, and from the blade, I'm gonna have like energy seep into the floor, and essentially, I want to do just like a mass explosion AOE.
Okay.
Where it just hits the entire arena.
Okay, let's see if you can beat his roll first.
Come on. No, so he hits me.
Oh no, he does indeed hit you.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
The fight will be drawn out a little longer.
It might. Is this spatial though? I assume so.
I'm just having a look. It is not. But it is an AP bullet.
Yeah, so it will do extra durability damage.
Yes, it will. It will halve any resistance you have, and... Oh, okay.
Technically, it doesn't have resistance, it's just...
That's interesting. This basically means that if it does more than... If its damage breaks your thing, it actually goes through it, and it will then deal damage to you equivalent to the damage it should have done.
Yes, yeah, because it keeps going. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3d10s plus... okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, so is this... It's 3d10s plus 9 plus 2d8s.
Do you want to just... So that's doubled, because it's durability, isn't it?
It is indeed. That obviously doesn't do enough to break through the armor, but what happens is as it hits into it and begins to make it crack, it then explodes and makes the cracks all around the armor. As it does so, it is now your turn. Now, fun fact, the ribcage is based on a thing of it doesn't disappear until it's broken.
Yeah.
Therefore, everything else within this entire mech stays around as long as
the ribcage.
Yeah. Now, the other fun fact about this is every turn you can reactivate this ability.
Oh. Cool.
So
I'll just do that then.
It's just a requirement of 10 or above, with obviously spirit.
Willpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I just repair it.
Yeah. As he just looks at you, just like, oh no.
Well, do you want to leave, or should we continue this?
I don't mind by saying that you are indeed a powerful foe. But I have to be honest, I don't see that there's any possibility of me beating you. I just hit you with my 2 strongest weapons that I have, and if those aren't gonna even put a dent in you, I don't see us much fighting any longer. He holsters both of his guns, places his hands up like as if he's basically about to be, like, sort of, like, shot. And he then says, I hereby quit. I forfeit this match. And he then walks out of the arena. Pinky then goes, well, it seems as though that he understood exactly the level of capabilities that Anarche has, as he seems to have been able to copy within a matter of only minutes, nay, even an hour, the abilities of Majra since yesterday. The only question is now, will Anarche stay in to fight the last fighter, or will he leave the arena?
I'll stay.
As the last one gets up, mineral
Can
clad.
I do a couple of actions before he walks in?
I'm afraid not, no.
Oh, so they get to heal, but I don't. I see how it is.
Okay, fine. Alright, now that's a good point. I actually never thought of it that way, because, yeah, Redoran did heal before you guys
He
actually
just
moved on.
fucking spammed healed, so yeah.
That is... actually, no, he didn't, did he? Remember, he was a boss. His health kept restarting every time that someone else joined in the fight.
He did say he did heal, though. His words.
Yeah, but no one else has done that.
Alright. Well, this is down to you then.
Bullshit. But your game,
I mean,
I don't
if
know.
not, things stay as they are. I'm not too fussed. This is entirely down to you. I'm just curious.
I mean, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. It just...
Alright. No, fair enough.
If I change that at any point, you can call me out, and that's fair. And I will obviously stick to whatever one everyone favors. But for the now, I did say that he kept healing, yes, but I completely forgot that technically he was because that he actually was
a mechanical loophole.
It was a mechanical loophole, yeah.
No, that's completely fair enough. Yeah.
Also, to be fair, it's also a passive healing thing as well. Like his transformation actually has a passive healing factor. Yeah. So the mineral samurai walks in as he is claimed as the first pillar, the mineral samurai. I want to point out he barely even comes up to the ankle on the giant mech that you are. As Pinky then says, "Begin. Roll me move speed."
All right.
What move speed do you have in a giant mech?
I assume normal.
Normal, but I just don't know what to do.
I get mineral.
It's a question.
Oh no.
If I made 2 weapons, can I do dual attacks? Because I have swordsmanship.
Do you have dual wield?
I have dual wield and the swordsmanship, yeah.
Yes. However, you
But
would
I'd have to roll the trade.
Yeah, you'd have to roll the trade instead, yeah.
That is kind of tempting. Fuck it, I've got time to play around. I'll do it.
Okay.
Alright, so this is for the second weapon.
Yep. And you make another one.
2 swords. And I go to bring them down upon him.
Okay.
Anarche just hard counters all these people.
He does, and I love it.
But he does beat me.
He does indeed. As you go to slam these 2 gigantic swords, he immediately quick draws a weapon and he blocks both of them. But even crazier, as he does so, the weapon launches both of the swords back up as you sort of like go off of your balance for a second. As he then deals an air slash that cuts through into your shield. And it doesn't necessarily... I will say I'm not going to bother rolling it, but it doesn't necessarily break through the armor, but it definitely cracks it very quickly.
Damn. Alright, that's pretty impressive.
I'm just imagining the fucking fight with the Metal Gear Ray.
That's my point. I'm not listening to the song.
I want to point out something actually very hilarious about this situation. He did actually block and parry the weapons that you hit him with.
Yes.
With one hand.
This is just rules of nature at the moment.
Rules of nature!
I'm just gonna roll to remake the thing. Yeah.
That was... No. Remember, it's still his turn.
Oh, yes, it is. Fair enough.
That was just his counterattack.
That was on my turn. Yeah, no, fair enough. I will remove those. That is fair.
As it is now his turn.
It is.
Okay, that's plenty enough. As he immediately begins to sort of like run, and what he does is he takes the weapon that he's got, jumps up all the way up to you, which is very weird how he can do this, and he's like right point blank at you, and he then goes to slash at the rib cage that you have.
Okay. Well then, I will kind of considering what to do here. You know, I'll have an energy blast come from the point that he's jumped up from the rib cage.
Okay.
No, he hits.
He hits. Okay. So, just now have to have a look at this. So, I've actually not done this before, so I actually need to do this. So, because of what he does, I now need to roll it this way. So,
Ooh.
It's 3d10s plus a d8 plus 11 times 8.
Ooh.
Plus 2d12 plus 8. Wow, even then it doesn't actually destroy the ribcage. Because that's multiplied for the sake of the durability. Yeah. As he cuts it, and it does crack quite a lot. However, this is not the end, as it is a combo attack, as he goes in for another attack. You are now allowed to roll a reactive against this.
Alright, I will do the same.
Nope.
Yeah, he succeeds.
As he does the exact same damage yet again. Might as well just like copy the other one, because technically it's the exact same.
Yeah.
I think that's...
It needs to beat 480, so...
480? I think that... no, it's just... I believe it's just under. I just have to have a look.
It's 390, then it's 310. And then...
194 plus 223 is... yeah, no, it's 417, so even then it's not enough.
No.
It's like he cracks it again. And that is the end of his turn. As he then just sort of lands back on the ground.
Damn. That was impressive. So I remake the thing. Yes.
That's impressive. Anyway,
damage is gone.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. Anyway.
Alright,
bad,
but
but
you know what? I
gone.
respect on his name. He's counted everything I've done so far. And those attacks would have probably hurt me quite a bit if it weren't for this new technique.
I'm not going to lie, I won't change it in this session, but I might very well change the ability in the next session as to how that works.
No, I like this version, Joe. I think you should keep it.
What I might do is I might very well have it that it is just like damage resistance equal to your maximum damage output.
I mean, to be fair, most super strength people can crack this in like one hit.
Yes, but that was the only thing, is that I've just realised, oh, shoot, what about every other fucker? So just thinking like, okay, I might just have it that's
exactly why I like this, Joe. What do you...
I have it that it's any damage, as long as it's obviously, you know, actually something that is physically tangible to the, you know, the thing.
I'm gonna be an arsehole. Shower of light.
Okay.
Parry this, you filthy casual.
You know what? If he does, that will be bloody hilarious.
That would be great. I mean, there's a good chance he might.
As you begin raining it with light, let it rain.
Oh wait, hang on. My
Oh, wait.
technique's a 20, so it doesn't even
Yeah,
activate.
actually, no, yeah, it doesn't even work. Well, I guess that's the end of your turn then. As you just, you go,
Yep.
shower of light, and he goes, like,
Shower of
prepares
light.
himself, and nothing happens.
Yep.
Yeah, made you look.
As he again jumps up towards you and again attempts to attack through this.
Dang, he keeps getting really high rolls on his attack. What is with this? Alright. I'm gonna win. I'm good.
If only.
You know, I will bring one of my blades down on top of him. No, I won't. What?
Oh,
Wow.
no.
All my rolls have been a below 10 of recent. Oh, except that one. That one's a 13.
2 berries.
2 berries. I might have to bust out the advantage thing. Damn.
You haven't taken enough damage to really do that.
I got 1. There we go. That shatters it.
So as this one actually like shatters it because he hits it with 2 weapons and it just completely bursts this ribcage wide open as it just shatters like glass as he goes in for a second attack.
Ooh, nice. I will go to shoot him with an energy blast.
30.
Alright, come on. I got this.
You've
Believe
got
in me
this.
that believes in me.
In the bag. 2 berries.
2 berries.
Jeez.
But unless he has something that ignores my willpower, I doubt he got higher than the first.
You remember that? You remember the first roll I did, and you said, "Damn."
Was that willpower?
That actually was his willpower. Yeah.
He can roll plus 16.
30. Yes, he's got skill harmony on willpower.
Yeah. Well, we matched then. I see.
The katana. The reason as to why he's rolling with katana at plus 16 is because of his bolstering. Because it's with finesse. Finesse plus 2, plus 8 super dex, plus 6 dex. As he deals 89 points of damage.
I need to roll some con.
Indeed
Natural
you do.
1.
What?
Oh,
This is pretty funny.
Jeez.
what the hell's happening?
Oh my gosh. So you took 30 from your previous endeavour.
Yep.
Plus 89, that puts you at 119. Also, this is... Actually, this isn't that much over your vitality. It's not even 1.5, so just basically...
It's just a really bad injury.
10, 5, 1, and then that doubles it, so... That's 6, 8... Oh, it's 2 10s. Shite. Okay.
Yeah.
Do
you want me to roll it, or you?
I guess, yeah. You know what? Roll me 2 10s.
Cool. Twice?
No, because this is indefinite.
Oh, nice.
Wow! Jeez. Okay, 100. So you've taken 139 so far within this.
Nice.
You have anti-lock right now.
You do, yeah. As he goes again back down to the ground and waits for your turn.
I know why this is now. Because of all the good rolls you got to learn the technique.
Yeah. Well. But this works in only my favor and my favor alone. As I start smiling as I will activate my mind ability.
This is actually above half as well.
Third eye open.
25. And as I do that,
What
I will make.
What emotion is this, by the way?
What emotion indeed.
Rage,
I feel
rage,
like
fucking
I feel like as much. Okay, actually, you know what? For fun, I will roll willpower of disadvantage. See, this will either be rage or excitement.
Okay. So failed will be rage, successful will be excitement.
What should I set this at? 15?
I'd say 15. That's a decent one to go for.
It beats a fit. So this is excitement.
Okay, fair enough. As you power up, and you are indeed invigorated and enthralled by this new endeavour that you are coming against.
So I will make the mecha once again. It hasn't worked so far, but I believe.
I mean, it made one guy insta-quit.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If it weren't for that insanely broken roll that I got a minute ago, I don't think I would have actually been able to hit you. So technically, like, all it is just whittling down my good luck until you actually land a decently strong attack.
And I'm over half, which means I get 3 advantage rolls.
Uh-oh.
Here it comes.
Something's wrong, I can feel it.
I guess he would feel this if he can say. Actually, I think I'm a bit out of his sensory range, so.
You're 15 meters away, so he's fine.
Ah, cool. Yeah. To everyone in the crowd, nothing's changed.
I just realised I was waiting for you to do something.
Yeah, it's your turn.
And I just realised it's my turn. He'll jump back up and he'll do the same thing again, trying to attack.
And now he's rolling an advantage.
33.
Alright, I'll try and bring down one of my swords. I'll take one of my advantage rolls.
Yeah!
Wow, okay, that's 34. Mine was 33, so you do stop him from coming back up.
Smack him back.
Slams down, and you do slam him back down. You stop from being attacked, but you don't damage him.
Oh, I don't damage him. Okay.
No.
Okie dokie.
As it's now your turn.
Fucking go for it again. Advantage roll. Yeah, plus 25. Not 25, plus 15. Wow. But I succeed.
Ooh, yes, you beat me by a couple of points there.
Alright. 8d6s plus 24. Plus.
This is gonna be the episode.
And now I have to check the willpower number is the same, so he's not resisting this. I just have to check what half is. Sorry about this part.
I mean, I can half it if you want.
It's 60 12s, so that's.
You're adding half.
Yeah. Because of my ability. What's half of 60 12s? I'm being dumb.
So 72 minus 2, 36.
36. So that would be how many d6s? Six sixes. 6 sixes is 36.
Oh,
so
do you have to roll half? Wait, what?
Oh, I'm counting the 60 12s in half.
Oh, okay.
To be 66s, right?
What? I'm very confused. Why are you rolling half?
Because you know, like how I normally split the dice.
Oh, you're doing 60-12, did you say?
Yeah.
And you're only halving the amount. Why are you halving the dice? Sorry.
I'm not halving the dice. I'm trying to put it into sixes instead of rolling 12s.
Well, if it's, are you doing 60-12s or is it?
Yes, 60 12s.
Oh, then in that case it'd be 12d6s.
Right, thank you. I'm gonna write that out so I don't.
Yeah.
Sixes plus. 24. It's a lot of ones.
Jeez. Okay. Nice. And I'm getting rid of chunks of that, aren't I? Because of.
Are you? Because our willpower numbers are the same, aren't they?
If they're the same, if they match, then yeah, I take chunks off. So you have to beat it. Or no.
It's match. If you beat it, then you. If it's match or below, then it's the same.
Fair enough. I can never remember that rule because it has been such a long time.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Since we've done anything like that.
Yeah, we both got 33s, so.
Okay. Damn, the fact that we got 33s at the same time, that's crazy.
Yeah.
116, which actually obviously does break his vitality, which means...
I certainly hope so, to be honest with you.
Only just... No. It does actually. I think it breaks
By
his...
1 point.
By 2 times over, like almost exactly 2 times over, because he's got 53. Not that knowing that really changes too much. It's not necessarily
not really
a big deal, but it's still quite funny.
And he got an natural 20.
Of course! Of course. Anyway, so it's now his turn as he slammed him down with these gigantic swords of pure white light as he finally gets back up. As he sort of like gets back up, you can see, you can notice that he's taken a lot of damage. He does look rather weakened, and he does look rather much in pain. But you notice something, and this is a bonus action, by the way.
Yep.
You notice something that isn't quite right, which is, if I've got this here.
Something I knew about long ago.
Spirit of the South something. Oh, there we go. Spirit of the South. There we go. As he heals himself for 30 points as a bonus action.
Yep.
So that puts him down from, well, that to 86. There we go. As it does heal him very slowly, but you can start telling that like he is actually still beginning to heal.
Yep.
As his healing does seem to like begin to pick up. 21, I believe that's. I can do basic. I can do the basic one. There we go. As he heals himself for another 46, and that is still at the end of his turn.
Yep.
As he will attempt to jump and try and attack you yet again.
Alright, I'll attempt to smack him down.
Fair dues. Go ahead.
Oh,
I won't use my last advantage.
nice.
I got a 28 and you got a 33, so go ahead and smack.
Oh, nice. I actually get to add damage to this.
Smack!
I might as well just copy and paste my other one.
Smack!
Mash the bug.
I think if you do the
Swish.
same type of damage that you did again, I might be in trouble. Because even though he healed a lot of it, it's,
I
oh
did
my
more.
god, it's more.
Oh!
So that plus what he took before. Okay, he is definitely in the red, and that also broke his vitality again. Which means I need to yet again roll.
Well, no, my luck, you'll get an actual 20, so...
1-to-1, man.
I mean, I might be wrong. You might not.
The hype.
Yes, yeah, I
What
told
the,
you.
what the actual hell?
I have divine
Ah,
sight. I told you.
you know what? I guess it kind of makes sense because he is clad in mineral armor, and although it doesn't have any energy resistance, it is the fact that like you keep slamming him down into the ground. As it is your turn.
Cool. You know what? He has, to be honest, he has earned my respect. And so for that, I will try harder. So I will go into my master form.
Oh!
Okay.
And I will use my advantage roll to roll the willpower. Come on, good roll, please. 16 plus. So
31.
31. There's less than his. Alright. So he gets the half, whatever. However, Joe, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, my maximum energy damage now increases because I'm always adding 1.5 onto everything.
Right.
So how does that now affect the durability?
So
Because now my maximum is more.
if we were to do it based on the durability, it would be ridiculous. I'd say it would be like, what is it, 46, 48? Or something?
It's plus 24 onto 48.
Okay, so it's yeah. So at that point, yeah, it'd be like
70.
70 something, yeah. 70 plus 24 and then
It's 72, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, it's 72.
Cool.
So in other words, this guy needs to do 72 points of damage
Yes.
to break it.
Yep.
By the way, your energy sword doesn't do any more damage, but what it does mean is that when you hit, it will be doing plus 24, plus 24.
Plus 24. Yeah. Alright, I go to smack him.
Fair. He goes to not be smacked.
I mean, unless he gets lower than 11. I mean...
27. So he does parry it.
Okay. So that just stops there?
He just Dark Soulsian parries you.
Yeah.
As,
I'm too big though, so you can't get the riposte off.
he does go to heal himself yet again. I've just realised that's not the correct healing. It's the other one I'm supposed to be doing here. So copy text and paste. So that's his healing action, his healing bonus action.
Yep.
So it's 1-1. 1-1. Oh, it's 1-1-1. Then he'll use his actual action to heal.
Yep.
Natural 20.
Yep.
Which I think actually...
It just auto crits because it's a pure technique.
Yeah, it fully heals him. Like fully back. Even though he has 111 actually auto crits, so... Yep. No, that is actually him fully like back down to 0 damage.
Yep.
And then he jumps up and tries to attack you again.
Alright, I go to smack him back down.
Smack it! Again, plus 27. 31. Yeah. That is enough to smack him down, but not enough to cause an attack. So you just smack him down to stop him from actually hitting you.
Am I not 5 or above?
I got 27, so technically you're 4 above.
Ah. Yes. Done.
So you smack him down, but yeah, not enough to actually damage him.
Oh dear.
As it's now your turn.
Why does it have to take so long?
This guy is complete utter bullshit.
He's gone like what, 4 natural 20s by this point?
Yes, yeah.
3?
The thing is, I actually originally designed this guy, and I thought, oh man, the one person who he'd be very difficult against is Felix. Felix would actually give this guy a run for his money. I actually didn't think originally that he would be that much of a pain in the ass for you. But I completely forgot that healing factor users are really annoying because you have an average amount of attacks of like 1 attack per turn, whereas Felix's average is 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy won't be that bad. No.
I'm just going to check what other abilities I have.
I think you still have Showering Light and...
I do. But knowing my role still do... No, I can't doubt myself. You'll believe in the me that believes in me.
I was going to say, you could always use Azure Claw, okay?
Did I learn that?
You did, in fact, learn that, yeah.
Oh, I don't even have it written down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, you didn't learn it. Sorry, it was Fletcher and Cloak who learned the Azure Claw.
Ah. But I know what I can do to make myself more powerful.
Oh, no.
Bonus action. But I open up a portal. I pull out the Shard of Animite.
Oh, no.
I go to activate it.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Alright, and I guess it's technically inside the thing of energy, so...
Indeed it is.
Already assumes to that. Cool. I think it's some time for some fun. Yeah, I know. A dangerous game.
Now, do you want all of these clones to use suitably?
Technically, this stone can't use the willpower variant, but it could use the SPMA mastery variant, right?
Yes, technically that's still part of it, so technically it would just acclimate to that. So all it would be getting is a downgrade of willpower aura. That's the only thing that it would be getting a downgrade of.
Alright, so we're just going to do that.
Okay.
So I'll roll just SP. Yeah. So now there's 2 giant 30-meter things with blades in
So
the
you
arena.
sort of like jump out of it and then transform again onto the other side of the...
Yeah. Well, no, I send the stone out, and then as the stone goes out, it
Okay.
transforms.
Yeah.
Yep. Now there's 2, and that's the end of my turn, because that's 2 actions. Oh, wait, is it? No,
Yes,
I'm getting
yeah,
it.
Wasn't one a bonus?
Because you had to roll to activate the thing, and then roll to create it.
Activate. Yes, yeah. Yep.
Well,
Alright.
obviously because he doesn't need to, he's just gonna
Heal. Or attack.
he's just gonna go and attack.
Sadly, I can't have both of them react.
Yeah, that's true. 30.
Because it's not clone. Alright. I go to smack him back down. No, so he hits.
He does indeed. He gets up. He hits. And he deals. Well, the real question really isn't how much damage he deals. The first actual real question is, does he break this? And then the next one is whether or not he can actually land the hit. So,
Yeah.
let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be enough to break it. Yep. And then the next thing is he's going to try and attack again.
Cool, I'm gonna teleport
Fair enough.
into my other one.
Again, fair enough. I just realised it's actually... I've been rolling that wrong.
Wow.
I've been rolling that one wrong. It's plus 14 when he attacks. It's plus 16 when he reacts.
You know how many times that would have made the difference, Joe?
Yeah.
Wow.
I apologise.
I know.
That is 20... either way, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so you teleport.
Yep.
So my roll is a 25. You got 34, so you can also do a reaction.
Cool. Can I have the other one slam down its blade upon him?
Yeah, sure.
Or would it have to come? Yeah, alright, cool.
So it'll deal damage, roll damage.
Yeah.
Now this is the one that doesn't have willpower, is it?
No, it's... Actually, yeah, I don't think it would have willpower.
If it's the one that you're in, it will.
Yeah.
If it's not, then it won't.
Because
you said you teleport, right?
yes.
Okay.
It would be... He already broke mine, though, didn't he? So
It breaks the ribs. It doesn't break the whole entire thing.
Right, then it will be mine, is what I'll say.
Yeah, that's fine. Jeez, okay.
Oh,
damn, boy.
yeah.
That is a big old smack.
Yep.
So it's 137 damage. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is mega scary. So I now need to roll. Yeah, again. Will he get an natural 20?
Natural one! Finally!
So he gets hit by that. And the best way to explain it is as he gets hit by that, that's 20, 15... so it's 20, 15, 10, 5, 1. So that's 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5, and it doubles the last one. So that's 6, 8, 10, 12, 2 12s. I think that's actually fatal moments. I just have to check. It is. So, as you sort of like teleport behind him, the energy creation sort of like stabs him sort of like guillotines him down into the ground and slams him into the ground with its energy. As you sort of like teleport above him, so to dodge his slash, but whilst you're still inside of the actual mech, and the thing just like grabs, it like pins him with the sword, cuts into him, and what it does is it actually like crushes him with the full-on force of this, as it causes great deal of internal damage, as it then deals 2d12s of additional bleed. Now, the only issue with this is that this individual actually is taking damage from this attack, but will not continue to bleed.
No, of course he won't. No.
So that is in total. Technically, that is in total 17 plus 137,
50,
which
100.
is 154.
Yep.
As they are pinned by this attack, it is now your turn.
Cool, and they're in fatal moments, yeah?
I completely forgot I actually have to roll something to see if they actually are in fatal moments.
No, of course
not. They should be. Because
you
can sense the amount of pain and damage that they are actually in, and this should have killed them. Because this kind of attack, there is blood and chunks of little bit of bone protruding out in between gaps in the armor, and blood is gushing to the point of it's like, this motherfucker should have just bled out instantly.
I think his secret of not being human is out now. Like,
pretty much, yeah. He's obviously a healing factor user, or at least some kind of immortal.
So he's still pinned by my blade, right?
Not enough where he wouldn't be allowed to attack back, but definitely enough for you to potentially, like, do something with it, I guess.
Okay.
Either way, he's prone, is the answer to your question.
So not from me, but from the, core in the other robot.
Okay.
I'm gonna have it use Shower of Light.
Okay.
I like this plan.
I like this plan.
Okay. Now, since he normally has advantage with this stuff, I will say that he has to do that, and then I would like you to roll your thing. And if he fails...
You mean my 29?
No, you need to... Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. I was going to say you actually have to, like, not pin him. Like, he has to roll to, like, not be continuously pinned down, but I just realised it doesn't matter. Yeah, he gets it. No. Roll damage.
Cool. Excuse me. 86 less 24. Okay, here's the thing. My transformation, my normal one, just imbues willpower into my stuff anyway. So would this have willpower in?
Technically it is, yeah, because you are manipulating it. So yeah, technically this would be willpower imbued.
Cool. I'm just going to remove... no, that's fine. Yeah, so it would be another 124.
Nice, okay.
Damn!
Plus 124 on top of what he's currently taken. That is lovely, delicious,
150
fantastic.
Something. He's in the 270 something. So if he has that much health.
So I do need to roll something. Actually, two somethings.
I just realised.
No.
Okay, so that's that first something. Second something is the plus 10 that you need to be concerned about. Okay. As you do is like showering this rain of light at him. It's like at first he like stops moving entirely, and his like sort of life force begins to like pitter away. You sort of like lean the sort of weapon off for a bit, as then it just sort of begins moving again, as you notice that the life force comes back. Nowhere near as strong as it was, but it's still there.
I need to roll a d4. Sorry.
Yeah, as you roll a d4, I'm going to say as it's this now character's turn. As I now need to roll for this. That works, and he now goes to jump and attack you. I will roll it with the correct modifier this time. I apologise. as he jumps towards you and attempts to attack again with the double slash of his weapons.
Ah, shit, I didn't repair my thing.
No, you didn't.
Right, teleportation. Come on, please.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Well, but that doesn't kill me, though.
Does it not? You are 139.
Yeah, and I have 230 health.
So 139 plus 99 to 238.
Oh, fuck.
I need you to roll me a con.
Bullshit is what this is.
Disadvantage, because it's Super Dex.
Oh, of course it is. Well, 8.
Okay. This does put you under.
Yep.
And I have to roll this, because I... Oh, wait, no,
Oh!
it's not every time. As he cuts through you, spilling your blood all over your energy mech as it begins to fade very slowly as you fall to the ground at the same speed as he does. However, he lands on his feet and you land on your back. However, when he does land, there's this horrible cracking and crunching noise as more bone protrudes out of in between like the clothy areas of the gaps in the armor, which now means I have to roll this.
He just dies there in the end.
And despite everything, he gets back up slowly as it begins correcting itself, slowly but surely, as Pinky announces, Inake has been defeated by the first pillar of the South. Who will be able to take him on? Will anyone be able to defeat him? I guess we'll find out in the next battle. Someone clean Inake off of the walls. As that is where we shall end this session.
I just realised there was no points divided for the fight between theirs.
No, but I'll give those to you later. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I hope you have a wonderful night, and as always, take care. This has been Animite Tales tabletop RPG system doing a dev play. That's a development playthrough, as we test all sorts of different abilities and concepts of this game. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
But
But
That fight was bullshit.